I hate to break the fishing news after Chuck, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep. All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
Welcome in. We're back. Welcome to 2024. It's been 2.5 weeks since we did an episode of the Real Life Podcast, which is unlike us. Well, it's like Chalmers, unlike the rest of us.
We did not.
That feels like just
strong.
yesterday I was in here.
Yeah.
We did not end strong, but that's the holidays. You had to unplug.
Yeah, you had to just whatever.
Well, we should have many topics to talk about then.
Oh, we do. We were just talking about like hangovers and drinking, and I'm talking about how your missus had vodka crayons and it left her really hungover.
No. She just the diabetes, whatever that drink is.
You know those ones with a ton of sugar that you really don't know what the booze is?
Like a Rev.
And you really don't know what it tastes like. One of those.
She was drinking this one called a candy apple.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah. You got to. At Christmas time, it's the festive.
I go to take a drink out of it and I go, whoa, that is so sweet. I could have maybe one of those. And she was crushing them all night. So it was no surprise that she was dead.
Grenadine and a candy apple. Delish.
I remember at a family wedding a few years ago, my two brother-in-laws were like, "Okay, we're not going to be hungover for the drive home," because it was like 6 hours away. And they're like, "So we're just going to drink straight whiskey together." That was their plan.
Mm-hmm.
They were both either puking or sleeping in the back of a car by like 9:45, 10 o'clock.
And I bet they weren't hungover.
Yeah, ready to roll in the morning, I bet.
Yeah, I think they were, because they got all of it out of their system that night, then went to bed super early. But I loved that it didn't slow them down at all. They just drank more straight whiskey. They're like, "Oh, but there's no pop. We won't be hungover." It's like, well, no, not when you drink just the same amount of liquid, but straight whiskey and no pop to cut it.
The move is a vodka soda or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. If you don't want to be a bitch and you still want to drink, well, we won't say later in life, because I don't think we're later in life, but we're not at the beginning of your party era. Mm-hmm. If you want to shoot a good second 9, we'll say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Vodka sodas and pint glasses, I highly recommend. And get turned up and go to bed at 9:30 like a real man. Oh. Get hammered and be in bed by 10.
That's the best thing about, we went, just like 6 of us went and decided we were going to take the Monday, the 20, whatever it was off, like the 19th. And we went out of town, and boy, it feels good just having a full day like that and going to bed by like 10:30, 11 o'clock. You wake up in the morning, you have breakfast like 7:30 in the morning. You feel great. You had a great time. Did everything you wanted to do. Had a nice dinner. It's underrated.
So there was I'm trying to find an email here, but it's just during kind of like the post-Christmas before New Year's week where
the malaise.
You got to do nothing.
Who knows what day it is?
Don't do anything. That's my motto.
So I had a buddy in town, and I think it was Wednesday night. We got pretty hammered. So knew I had stuff to do on Thursday, including posting an article from Robin Brownlee. And so he emailed it to me at 7 a.m. I was not awake, nor was I awake when he followed up at 8:30, nor was I awake when he followed up again at 10 a.m. And I go, "Sorry, Robin, late start for me today, courtesy of Captain Morgan." And his reply made me laugh out loud. He goes, "It's time for you to learn to drink like a man. Get up early, puke, and move on with your day. Get over it."
Those are words of wisdom.
Damn, Robin Brownlee.
I mean, you could leave the puke part out. That's not something I think that makes anybody feel better, just to wake up in the morning.
Sometimes you got to rally.
I don't puke.
I'm not a
never
puker
ever.
either.
Last year, remember the first night at the pond hockey tournament, which is coming up in a few weeks.
Red wine, lava.
I would not have been able to play that Saturday had I not puked in the shower that morning.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the nighttime red wine.
Oh, that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, they all roll into one for me.
Last
I'm at that age where you say pond hockey tournament, every single highlight from 3 years in a row just become 1 year.
Yep.
It was just all last.
Yeah.
I do think, shout out to Tourism Jasper for having us back. That event is just a couple of weeks away. And we once again have the big party house. We're going to have a great time. I talked on Twitter to a few people who entered teams just last year. They're coming back. So it is great.
Yeah, we got a friends team coming too. It's going to be good. I've seen, just because of this weather and like the way that lakes are freezing and the way that ponds are freezing, I've seen more videos this year of just like ice that looks like glass on a pond where you can see the bottom. It's super cool, but man, it's freaky. Like the one where it's got all the trees in the underneath, like at Pigeon Lake right now, it's glass and you can see the bottom and it's just sand, right? So it's not like that freaky, but those ones in the mountains, where it's and it's deep, and then it's like you see all the trees that have fallen in there, and it's cool. Like you could probably skate. You could probably, if you shot a puck, it'd probably go for a kilometer.
All I ask is a little bit, maybe a handful of degrees warmer than last year.
Well, this is the no winter, so you're probably going to win.
Starting to get a little bit chilly though.
But it's not minus 25.
No.
You can tell we're spoiled when, like I walked outside the other day, it was minus 10 and I was like, bullshit. I'm like, oh wait, it's end of December.
It's chilly. I have to wear an actual jacket.
I like it how I just zoned out there because you looked at me when I said you could probably shoot the puck a kilometer, and you looked at me kind of like, ooh, that would be interesting to know. And all my mind went to was like, how would you possibly do that? Okay, so you could set up one guy over here. You need a lake. That was totally clear. Yep. You take a shot. Then you have to like, how would you even measure that?
With a measuring tape.
Or like a GPS, like a watch. Could you like start skating, stop it at the end? If you were
smart enough physics wise, launch angle, velocity.
Mm-hmm. We're doing physics now.
Drag.
You could bring a sextant.
Again, you'd have to, if we wanted to get it a kilometer,
the curvature of the earth,
a J down slap shot would probably be my go-to shot to see if somebody could do it. So, and I hate to bring, like you guys always when it brings up, but remember when we talked about the golf thing about like 3 weeks back,
and Jersey Jerry,
and then this guy goes and does a live stream of a hole-in-one. So it took him 1 day, 12 hours to do it.
No sleeping?
No, he slept.
Oh,
he slept,
but streamed himself the whole time.
He streamed himself sleeping.
Oh, I was watching.
But
I didn't know he slept though.
At about the 20-hour mark, he popped one and it rolled up to about 6 inches. And like, it was so close, but it was cool. So like there is average Joe to the max, and he got it done in 1 hour or 1 day, 12 hours, right?
Yeah. Average Joe he's not a good golfer.
Yeah.
Plus, I wouldn't trust a simulator.
But I know ours was more of a timed thing with a score. I brought that scenario up to a couple other people, and there's definitely, it's definitely a split decision, 50-50 as to whether or not people think you could do it or not. I definitely think it's something we need to try though.
I would love to. I went to the sim last Saturday.
Yeah.
There were 4 par 3s on the course. I put 2 of them within 2 feet, 170 yards. But again, it's the sim. So like, who knows? Who knows what's actually happening?
Yeah, I say count it.
I was counting that, or I was thinking of that when I was watching the Jersey Jerry thing. And I was like, damn, I bet you I could do it faster than that. Like, that's why I was just so blown away. It took him so long. Eventually your body gives up. See, and he had like a chiropractor come in. He had somebody that kind of gave him massages. There was a doctor there that
what kind of massage?
Took his blood pressure, like a back massage.
You know what I'm saying?
You know.
A doctor massage or a other type?
Nope, doctor.
Could be a doctor.
It was being live streamed. But anyways, they had like an IV. They took his like blood pressure.
Oh my God.
Like, well,
so what that taught me, because I saw the stream as well, is that we're way too soft on the Nation employees and not streaming them 24/7.
Why aren't they being streamed 24/7?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Jay was like, we need to put cameras up in the office so everything could be content? And I was like, whoa, legally, no.
You could have one room though.
Well,
You can have one room.
and they're pulling everything off before anybody else gets a chance, because like, I think it was a year ago, they did a bowling one where you had to bowl a certain amount of points before you could leave the bowling alley. Now we're going bowling today at 5:00. Are we not?
Yeah.
Nation party. So all I think about is like, if you're going to stream people 24/7, got to be doing something cool. Got to be doing something. But like golf on a sim, bowling in a bowling alley, those are two that like are pretty easy to do.
There was those 2 dudes they just streamed for 24 hours.
Yeah,
the room.
there was the punishment for Hank and whoever.
Oh yeah,
when they like lost.
They just got stuck. Just got stuck in a room.
Why don't we make Aaron and Gavin fight to the death?
Ooh.
Yep.
If you had a fight to the death and you streamed it, you think society would turn away in horror?
No,
they would watch that shit.
Watch
How long do you think it would take to get them to fighting? You put them in a room and they like, do you think they talk
Just
it out a
snap a
bit?
Turn the temperature up in the room really high.
Yeah.
Turn the lights on.
Maybe
Never
they talk about it. It's like, listen, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you.
You will in 4 days.
You only get 1 box of Cheerios.
One of you walks out of here alive. There's 37,000 people watching.
Yep.
Back to Tourism Jasper. However, we ended up here.
Are we about to hit a cold snap?
Nope. Long-term forecast only goes up to the Thursday before, but the Thursday before is supposed to be -10 and sunny, which
Perfect.
is great outdoor rink temperature.
Great outdoor rink temperature. So those rinks should be beautiful.
Good. Time to start planning your next ski trip. Marmot Basin is open for skiing and snowboarding, and you can get the escape card, which provides 50% off full day lift tickets all season long with no blackout dates. Venture beyond. Go to jasper.travel for more details. But yeah, we'll be out there in a couple of weeks. Teams coming together.
I think we need to strategize a little more this year.
Well, we also might have some new players on the team because for last year we had Adam from sales, Adam Seaborn. And
He's
I
on
think
a different team this year.
he's on the Toronto team.
Yeah.
So we've added our producer, Pat Puff.
Mhm.
He's going to play. And I think marketing Maddie's boyfriend's going to play too. And I don't know if we have Frank.
Well, we got to strategize still.
Yeah, we do.
My point still remains.
I'll search best techniques in 4-on-4 pond hockey because like you could get a guy in motion, have a triangle with a guy in motion and try to get it to him. But you almost have to have
Tyler
misdirection.
took one in the mush.
Misdirection with two guys going. Yeah. Right in the chin. I don't know. It's tough because 4 people on that rink too. Like they're not huge.
No.
It's you got to be a good stick handler in a phone booth.
Tyler, on behalf of your career, can you keep your face, the moneymaker we call it? Can you keep it off the
Thought
receipt?
about full cage. I was going to say.
So like that's why I do full cage in beer league.
You're too
right?
damn
So
pretty,
do I.
Playboy.
You do now too?
I have since I lost my tooth.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I got a tooth knocked out and it was not a pretty experience.
dude. I get
In
roasted.
beer league, you guys
Just like
took
Brent
that?
So
Burns.
it wasn't even in beer league. Like I had been wearing a mouth guard and a half visor in beer league, and I'm short, and I don't know if that like helps with the fact that I get a lot of sticks up high and just like, but we were playing in a shinny game. And it was about the last 30 seconds. We were just messing around and I just went in and a guy was going to clear the puck and it went up my stick and just right off the front tooth, just knocked it right out.
And the other thing too is like when Jay hit me in the face, it felt like I got hit in the mouth with a slap shot.
Yeah.
And then you watch back the video and it's like a light saucer pass that popped up and hit me in the face. Like the guys who rip me in beer league for it, like whatever, easy chirp. I totally understand that. But like, dude, unless you
And
have
it's beer league, settle down.
But see, without a cage, I like to talk. Like, I like to have fun out there. I like to chirp. I like to have a good time. The minute I put that on, I realized that was a whole aspect of my game I couldn't have anymore.
But if I'm playing beer league and I
know?
see Tyler Yaremchuk at the other team, it's go time.
Yeah, you're going to
You're
try
the only celebrity in the entire league. I would try to kill you.
Oh, that shit is like a real thing.
I believe.
deal with it. Like
You're like a little Connor Bedard.
There was one guy and he was probably, I'll say in his late 50s is what he looked like. Second face off of the game, he goes, "Hey, you're the Oilersnation guy." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, cool, man. I like your stuff." I'm like,
Time to die.
Sweet. Game goes on. He sticked our goalie at one point and our goalie called him old. It was like, "Shut up, you senior citizen."
Uh-oh.
And this guy lost it for the rest of the game. And he fought a guy, went to the penalty box, thought that guy in the penalty box was me. I'm sitting on the bench and he's yelling at the guy in the box, being like, "No one likes your shitty fucking podcast, buddy."
Oh, no, that could be this one.
And I was like, "Oh shit, you think that's me, but it's not me."
What kind of lead you guys fight in where you get to
Well,
sit in
not
the penalty box?
not a fight,
Oh, he just
but
got
like-
a scrum.
Yeah, they got a
little
scrum
little,
afterwards,
little
but-
scrum action.
But yeah, it happens a lot where guys will like start the game being like, "Hey man, like what's up? Like I like your pod." It's like, cool. And by the end of the game, they're like, "You are such a little." It's like,
Oh
"Whoa,
my God.
I didn't even do anything. I don't think.
I don't think.
I don't
From
think.
my perspective.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I don't go full cage in the Jasper thing because it's nice to have the mountain air really flowing in.
I got to get a new Bucky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna get something cool or something nice?
No, I did like your old one.
What do you mean?
The one you wore last year. I think it's
Oh,
cool.
it's just because like last year.
What was it?
Just like an old Bauer helmet that I've had for 100
Yeah,
years.
the Lidstrom cage on it or the visor. Lidstrom visor.
No, that was the year before. I had a different visor last year. I dropped it when I got home and she cracked. So not really great for a helmet to crack in half. I find.
No, that means it's kind of probably old.
Yeah, a little old. So I got to get a fresh one.
Speaking of the sport of ice hockey, the local team,
Look at
The Oil
us.
Kings?
Look at
Chef
us.
Kiss. Yaremchuk,
Oh, how the tides have changed.
let me just repeat back to you this season. You tweeted that the McDavid era was over, which is one of the low points of my life. I would just like to say,
It's
like,
just my tweet.
man, I went to the window and looked to the horizon when you tweeted that. And I was like, Yaremchuk's never wrong. This means it's the end of the McDavid era. Like I fully bought into what you're saying. Then we had our annual U.S. Thanksgiving panic,
Yeah.
which is now a rite of passage en route to the playoffs. I hope to God. Then I watched you last night say you're more impressive by this heater than the last heater. So we've come all the way back.
There's only been like 4 6+ game winning streaks in the NHL this year, and 2 of them are the Oilers.
The best.
But they're still outside of the playoffs. despite
Yeah,
the
they're
fact
still
that they won
8th in the
14
conference.
of the
No.
last 17 games.
If you sort
Or
by points
9th.
percentage. Huh?
Is that what you do?
But
Cares?
like the point I guess that I'm getting at is making up ground in the NHL is very hard. The loser point really throws a wrench in the mix.
But the other thing that's kind of interesting is when you compare their record at this point this year to last year and the year before.
They're better.
Yeah. So it's like they almost won the division last year.
What?
That's how
They're better than they were last year at this
After
time?
35 games, this is the best record the Oilers have had in the last 3 seasons.
And then isn't the Pacific like historically terrible too?
No,
That
it's-
was
it's
last year.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So
Well,
the
they're the-
problem this year is that Vancouver's way better. The
Right.
Kings are better. Vegas is still good.
They're the best team in the NHL in the last 22 games.
Who
correct?
dat? The Oil?
The Oilers.
Yeah.
And if
It
you
took
look
them a month to get going, you know?
and their schedule in the month of January features 2 teams that are in the playoffs, 5 that are lottery teams, and like 2 mushy men.
And we have games in hand on the guys around us, right?
Yeah, everyone. So like
best.
I think their final 10 games here in January, I think 8-2 is like a easily attainable goal.
Now, hold
They win
on.
all 11, Wanye.
What's that?
I say they win all 11.
How can you be the same guy that had me shopping for shallow graves for myself at American Thanksgiving, and now you're sitting here at the same gravitas saying we're amazing and we're going to go 8-2?
He wasn't even shopping for shallow graves. He was just putting his face down in puddles that were around.
I was like, Ramchek and I have decided that
Yeah.
Connor McDavid's leaving and I need to lie down
is the
somewhere
end.
permanently.
Well, you have to remember, like in that moment when they're 1 and whatever to start the year, it's like,
They were like 2 and 9.
yeah,
It's
to
wild.
draw the connection of like, this year's not going to go well. Leon Draisaitl won't want to sign an extension. That means they're going to have to trade Leon Draisaitl.
But this is where you're over panicking.
Yeah, I know, but I also have to talk. This is like my life for like 4 hours a day is just
I know,
dissecting the hockey.
but that's
team.
why on behalf of all the listeners, I'd like to be on this show and give you slight pushback of freaking us out.
But in the moment, it's so hard to not be like, well, our lives are over.
But you can't just be like, well, that's over. And then 6 weeks later, be like, well, I'm telling you where I'm sitting for the
Yes,
cup
we
run.
can.
Yeah.
This January strength of schedule has got to be one of the easiest on record. Like, only team they play that is even remotely good would be Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. And the Oilers actually have more wins.
Everyone else is almost out of a playoff. I think everybody else is out of a playoff spot.
I believe it was Barack Obama who said, yes, we can.
He did.
Yes, he can.
He also said hope.
Oh, except for Nashville.
Yes, we can.
Nashville too at the end of the month. Well, here's to a fun January.
It could be. But they can't look past anybody, I guess, is a greater point of
Yeah,
a
no
schedule
freebie-
like
no
this.
freebies.
No freebies.
Mm-mm.
What do you think? What do you think are some of the highs and the lows lately of what's propelling the Oilers to be a team that in the past 20 games has been the best team in the league?
My take on why this is more encouraging than the 8-game heater is when they won 8 in a row, I kept saying it's the same old Oilers. It's Connor McDavid in the power play, torching the other team and timely saves. Like that's how they won so much down the stretch last year, right? McDavid was ungodly and all that. This 5-game stretch, it's like, holy shit. Okay, McLeod's chipping in now. Fogel's chipping in. Like they're getting offense from all these different parts. And it's the power play has actually kind of gone cold for a little bit. McDavid against the Sharks and Ducks had 1 point in each game. The Oilers scored a combined 12 5-on-5 goals. And only 2 of them needed to be helped by McDavid. Like that's what's impressive to me. Stuart Skinner's totally dialed in. We had it up, I think, in an article on the
Give me your
site.
Apple Watch.
I did. I'll talk about that because I got takes on this son of a bitch.
All right.
Picard's winning the games he needs to
Yeah.
win when he
Pickard.
comes in. Pickard. What did I say? Picard?
Captain Picard.
I said
Captain
Picard, and
Picard.
Gregor rolled his eyes. We were on the air
whatever.
together. Small flex. And he went, it's Pickard. Like I'd
What's he
said,
know?
like I'd mispronounced Edmonton.
What does he know anyway?
It's Pickard. I felt this tall. That's the radio biz, Charles.
I think it might have been Gregor who broke down the Oilers save percentage on a week by week basis through the year, and the chart is just like straight up. Like it's pretty clear that you get saves, you get wins.
How's the cul-de-sac looking over there, by the way, when you go see Gregor on Fridays?
Have you ever met Colin Gregor, his brother?
I have.
He has just turned into Colin. Like I looked at him.
How long does he have to grow this thing for?
He's Noah's dad. I don't know what the
It was
best.
6 months, I believe.
I honestly
But then
don't
But then he got let off the hook. They said if the Oilers win 5 in a row at some point over the 6 months, The cutoff's 3. So the cutoff's 3 months from when they lost to the Sharks in November.
So that's coming up right away then.
So he's just basically transformed into fun hat guy.
No, this is where
He
I
just wears fedoras and like
He always
Kangol's
was.
forward and stuff.
Always was fun hat guy.
I don't
Fun
understand.
glasses guy,
Gregor
too.
doesn't really want to be the in on the joke about Gregor. This is very like self-aware of him for him to do this.
It's very, usually
It's
he's
very
I thought he was gonna try and
un-Gregor.
get out of it
Yes,
for
I thought so
sure.
too. But I think he's just rolling heavy. I mean, he's got 1440. He has most of the radio in the palm of his hand. The other hand's filled with internet.
Is he allowed to trim the cul-de-sac
No.
at least? Like not at all.
No.
Nothing.
Whoa.
Looks great.
I think he had a trip or was going somewhere with his wife and kids. And Frank Cervelli made the joke that was like, when you show up with your wife, people are going to think you either have $14 million or a 14-inch
And
Uno.
Gregor's like, I do have both. And then Frank was like, Meh. Yeah, that you're correct on both fronts.
Anyone want a pull of my liter of cola?
Nobody wants a pull of that liter cola that's been around here since New
14,
Year's Day.
14 inches, 14 million, or 2/3 of a 1 liter cola from New Year's.
When I always said when I'm done working my way through all these goddamn liters of cola I have in my house, back to cans, right? And
Yeah.
but now I'm kind of getting attached to it. I don't hate
You,
it.
speaking of cans of cola,
Yeah.
no ordering cans of cola to our room this year.
Yeah. Last year at the
Tyler's still
Fairmont
working through
JPL, Chalmers called room service because he had no Coca-Cola for his whiskey.
That's true.
Because he's a gangster
This
baller.
is correct. So far,
And
so
I
good.
have 6 Coke Zeros to the room.
Yes.
A reasonable
Bring them.
order.
6 Coke Zeros, $42.
Who would have thought?
And then he leaves and they get stuck on my room bill.
That's showbiz.
correct. That is correct. As
Everything-
per plan.
Everything you've described was by design.
But $42, I mean, come on. I mean, I know what I was doing.
If you go to the bar and don't spend if you go put your bar booze in your drinks, how many drinks can you get for $42?
If
3?
you told me that you could either not have Ryan Coke Zeros or you could pay $42 for a 6-pack, I would have done it.
Yeah.
And the cherry on top is that you paid for them.
So they're actually free.
I'm coming to your room and ordering $42 worth of it.
Yeah. Don't worry. My kids are probably going to do that on their own. Orange crushes,
It was
maybe
my
a couple pizzas.
But my favorite part was that we didn't find out how much they were until you were closing out. Like Tyler was closing out. And he was.
That's the brilliance of the whole plan.
You let your kids order room service pizza?
Well, I don't let them, but
They're
sometimes they have to eat and we need to go out and do stuff. And
Your Amtrak, you don't even have a kid yet, and I know that your kids are not allowed to order room service
No,
pizza
no.
in hotels. I know they're not.
They can have a
I definitely
microwave
was not
pizza
allowed to.
that I packed from home and that is now warm.
That
Well,
is
there's
what
no
we used to do when
microwave.
I was a little kid. We were in a hotel. My dad would go to some grocery store or gas station with grocery. And that's what we would have in the hotel
Microwave
room.
meals.
you know what I do, like on vacation, like hockey trips, like hockey weekends, tournaments, is when we go out for dinner the first night, I'll order like a extra large pizza and I'll have like 3 pieces of it for dinner and then take it back to the room. Pizza for the rest of the weekend.
Just like you and I in Seattle
best.
when we're trying to jam
You
a
should have
pizza
seen-
box into a fridge.
You should have seen this madness.
Well, especially
3
because
in the morning.
these fridges are like what, 12 inches deep?
Yeah. So we had a large pizza that we're trying to fit into that fridge, Tyler and I. By the way, it's 3 in the morning, so you can picture the state of us.
So you take all the racks out and you stand it up.
We tried that.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. So what we
we had
ended
an
up doing,
extra large pizza.
we ordered an extra large, so we ended up folding the box in half and ramming it.
Whatever it takes.
The other play is go to the ice machine, take your pizza box, put it in the garbage bag from the garbage in the room, and then put ice in the bathtub, and then put your new plastic wrapped pizza box in the ice to stay cold. I've done that many times. You can put smaller shit in the sink too if you need to.
Like
It's-
organs.
Yep.
That's actually a pretty good idea with the pizza and the
I
tub thing. But
would
how do you
never
shower in the
consider-
morning?
I assume
And
you
you
don't
eat
need
pizza?
I'm trying to get you to the morning so you can eat it later.
Oh, yes.
I'm assuming if you're eating
That is a much better.
bathtub pizza, you
You're
don't
probably
shower.
shit faced and you're just trying to buy yourself 6
Sitting on
hours.
the toilet, just eating a piece.
It's a much better idea than when Tyler and I were trying to ram an empty can underneath the door of the fridge to keep it closed.
You ever take the back off a toilet, pack that with ice, and use that as your cooler for the hotel drinking? That's nice. Keeps all the ice in a small little compact area.
Mhm.
Still have
Fresh
the
water
sink.
in the back of the tank.
We don't drink the toilet water per se.
Well,
No, I put mine right in the bowl.
Hey, piss around my beers, all right?
Yeah,
Just tie them-
Hey, don't be a weirdo. Don't piss on my beer. It's in the toilet.
Piss on the other side of the bowl.
Yeah.
Like a man.
Piss in the sink.
rim it around.
This is something I wanted to talk about. So Christmas with my family. I have 2 nieces. They are
Congratulations.
5.5, 3, whatever. I also now
Whatever.
Well, I don't fully remember.
You know what he means.
I also
Ballpark.
now have a newborn nephew.
Again,
Buying
congratulations.
gifts for the nephew is going to be a breeze for me. His dad loves hockey. I'm sure this kid's going to love hockey in all likelihood. Even if he doesn't, I'll buy him fire trucks and like cool stuff like that, right? The girls are now at a point where I just don't go to the store and buy them something that I think looks cool, like a race car. They ask for stuff.
Yes.
The toys they asked for this year are the most insane shit ever. I told this story in ON Every Day with Jay, but I was saving it for real life. The toy, they lost their shit when they opened this on Christmas morning. A hamster or gerbil. And the whole point of the toy is that it gives birth.
Yeah.
Come again?
So you have this gerbil that is like, whatever, yay big, smaller than a football.
It's a toy,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
You take it out, you play with it, and then it starts making noises.
Oh boy.
And you go, oh, time for it to give birth. So you go put it in its little pen and like a thing glows and you have to wait 10 hours. And after 10 hours, it gives birth to a tinier toy.
Does that tiny toy now live its life outside the mother forever? Or do you stuff it back in
Yeah,
at some point?
how many new babies can it have?
There are 2. And then you can put them back in and do the whole
You can
thing.
stuff it back in? That's the best
I don't like
part.
this toy.
That's insane, right?
So it's 2 toys. It's the birthing and the stuffing.
But
Yeah.
the 2 little girls, man, they lost their minds. They were so excited about this.
I don't understand kids' toys.
I can also remember though a toy from when we were little. I think that was before our time, but it existed. And it was a doll that you had a water-filled bottle and they would pee.
Yeah, I remember that.
Baby pee-pee,
Yeah.
as I recall it being called.
and you could
So
change
this
his
toy,
diapers.
Charles, because I know you're Googling it.
Yeah.
My sister's been trying to get it for like 2 Christmases and it's always sold out.
Well, this is just
Gross.
insane. Not only is it insane, but it's called Little Live Pets Mama Surprise Playset.
Surprise.
It is, like he says, a guinea pig with a little pen. It will give birth, and they don't give these things away.
How
For
many?
90
Not
bucks?
cheap.
Show me.
$90 for this
For
toy.
a hamster that
You could
gives
have 20 real hamsters that you could kill at will for that kind of money.
Yeah, they'll have all the babies you want.
So does it say like,
and you
just
can
don't
enjoy watch them eat each other.
No,
It's
don't.
great.
Yeah, don't watch the baby. Don't watch the guinea pig for that 10 hours. Make sure you just go do something else.
go earn some income to pay for the $90.
Seriously.
birthing
I say you get a
gerbil.
real guinea pig and watch the babies eat each other. That's the real joy of
Ew.
Christmas.
When I was a
They do
little
that?
kid,
Yo, fuck
Mama
yeah, they do.
Surprise
My
teaches children to care and nurture for their pet with the same magical surprise delivery as the original Mama Surprise. Babies magically appear inside the hutch. Kids go through the surprise and delight of caring for Mama and discovering her babies again and again.
I don't like it. That's a bad toy.
That is awful.
I got a Super Nintendo when I was little, and that was a cool toy.
Well, like, yeah.
Whatever
I was
happened
little-
to He-Man?
Yeah, He-Man didn't give birth to other He-Men.
Tila.
I had this babysitter that told a story about babysitting a kid and he was holding on to his hamster and the babysitter said, you have to go to bed. And he went, I don't want to go to bed.
Okay.
And the hamster like went, bleh, and that was the end of the hamster. And I had a hamster at the time. And I remember looking at my hamster being like,
I'm not touching this thing
I would
anymore.
never do that to you, Mr. Hamster. And then one time I forgot to water him for an extended period of time. And then I was like, I wonder if that hamster's still alive. And I went there. It was not.
Oh, that's
I
That's
had
how
a
it
hedgehog.
died.
That's as close to a hamster as I got, and he was cool. Shout out to
hedgehog.
Yeah, Snoop Hogg. He was great. R.I.P. R.I.P. the homie.
I like to think that I
I
stopped
like that
watering.
name, Snoop Hogg.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
He was a hedgehog or a hamster?
Hedgehog. Like Sonic.
I didn't know they were real animals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Could he run after gold coins on a skateboard?
that's all he did all day.
Who got to keep the coins?
The guy with the mustache.
That's cool.
I had I had a hamster. You know how it met its maker?
Did you forget to water it?
No. I came home one day and the wheel that he ran in was tipped over
Uh
on top of him.
Oh dear.
And he was crushed.
oh. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You strangled to death.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I love that thing. I put it in the ball, let it run around the house.
Were you sad when that shit died?
Yeah, I was, I think.
Not really, eh?
At one time, it went down the stairs in its ball by accident.
That shit'll happen.
I was super sad when my head.
I was like,
How old were you?
oh, I forgot to put the gate up. Till 10 or 11? 10 and 11?
Oh, you're like, dun, dun. Oh, I forgot to put the
I'm
gate
like,
up.
oh, God.
It just doesn't matter though, because it's a
Whoops.
hamster. It doesn't matter. It's effectively a squirrel you've allowed into your house.
I was super bummed my hedgehog died. I loved him.
Hedgehog, I feel like has a bigger brain.
He was cool. No,
Hamster,
I don't think so. He was very
goldfish,
dumb.
child.
In that
That's
order.
how they go in the order. Yeah.
I just let him cruise around my house. But if he got under the couch, I had a problem.
Speaking of kids' Christmas presents, everything in my house now revolves around gaming.
See, but at
It's a
least
lot.
that's easy to buy for.
Well, it is.
Roblox credits. That looks great under a virtual Christmas tree.
So one of the games that me Mrs. niece and nephew got for the Nintendo Switch,
Virtual hamster mama.
they open up the game as you would expect. But when you opened the package for the game, it was just a download code. You
Yes.
don't get anything in the.
What's the fucking point of
The whole Xbox,
What is the point of
the
the
whole
something to wrap
Xbox
up?
system that my son's got for Christmas is just an online download. It's got no CD. It's got no place to put a game. You just download the games. And I'm like, well, what if you want to play this game at your friend's house? Well, you've got to take the whole thing, the whole system. So now they've got a system each, 2 different floors. They sit in their gaming chairs, which are like little rockers. They just play and talk to each other over the headset.
Your kids talk to each other in the same house playing the same game?
Pretty much.
Chalmers stream this shit and make all the money.
Yeah.
People will watch these little
Yeah, they're
bats.
pretty
You hear
funny.
about this kid that like beat Tetris?
Yeah. First guy ever to beat
Okay,
Tetris. He's
First
like
of all,
15.
where did he get Tetris?
You can still get Tetris
How do
online.
you beat
I
it?
have
Isn't
Tetris
it
on my
just
phone.
continuous?
It's 168 levels.
Apparently it's not.
Okay.
Because he got to the screen where it just stops and it says 99999 is the score.
And he's
Repeat.
probably like, damn, that sucks. I was just getting in a groove.
No, he was pretty pumped, this guy.
He said his thumbs were numb.
But like nostalgically speaking, I have an old Nintendo. I love old video games, but I don't even know where to find Tetris. I love Tetris.
The App Store.
I have it on my. I have it on my phone.
You can play it on your phone.
Yeah, I got it. Tetris Classic.
So speaking of nostalgic stuff, so I went to a restaurant over the Christmas holidays,
The
which
Tetris
is
restaurant?
no.
They had a real menu. Not
I'm going to tell you what the place is
Paper
called.
straws?
It is the
No, unless
it
they
is-
pay us, you don't say a goddamn word.
I'm not really not allowed to say it.
They charge you for a bag.
You can say it.
It's called Foos Fix It. It's a
It's a car shop.
It's on 109th
car
Street.
yeah. But it's
Oh,
like
no, it's in the
foosball.
Alberta block.
You walk in, yeah, right next to like Red Star. So you walk in and like the lobby is all old ColecoVisions, like old 8 tracks. It's got a whole bunch of nostalgic stuff. And right behind the host, it's got a 7-Up, old retro 7-Up pop dispenser. And I'm like, this place is pretty cool, but like, where's the restaurant? That pop machine is a hidden door. And you walk through it, and behind there is one of the coolest restaurants
Fun.
I've been to in a long, long time. The atmosphere in there was great. Food was even better. Down below by the bathrooms, they have like, it's all retro, and they have 3 old 70s hair drying chairs. So of course we went, sat down, take some pictures. Of course, I had to see if these worked. So I plugged them in. They work. 100% work. It was crazy. It was neat. I like that kind of stuff. But like retro stuff is like that
cool.
is super cool.
It's very in right now. It's very in fashion.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. The other thing about kids' Christmas presents is, do you know what the hottest thing for boys age, I'd say 8 to 13 was?
Hamster mama?
Hamster mama, hamster dad. You put it in a cage with a hamster mom.
They're banging.
And for 30 seconds, you don't look. Just kidding. It is a Bauer
it's someone
mystery mini stick. Yeah, you just listen and you go, and when you hear,
You'll know when they're done.
And when you hear Papa Hamster light up a cigarette, then you go.
yeah, when you smell a cigarette and
When hamsters have successfully mated, they make a popping noise. Like,
it says when
they're done.
when the crate stops a knocking or rocking.
Okay, so what's the
Okay, Bauer mystery mini sticks. So mystery. So Bauer came out with this thing where they'll send you a mystery mini stick, and it can be either like a proto or like an Eastern Synergy or like all
but it
these
looks like
different brands, but it's a mini stick and you don't know which one you're getting. Well, these things sell in stores for like $20 a piece. I knew people over Christmas that were paying on the black market privately like $50 to $60 for one of these things. It was the it toy of 2023.
One time, me and Jay were driving to Moose Jaw, and we were talking about how Nintendo Wii's were like the hot thing.
Oh yeah, I remember this. He got
And I was like, I wonder if like we dropped into like a rural town if there's Nintendo Wiis, because they were like so hot.
Sold out everywhere.
I remember, yeah.
And I can't remember where we went to, like the Superstore in Lloydminster or something. In like the middle of the day, we walk in, there's 6 of them sitting on the shelf. We bought all 6.
Yeah, you did.
And then we flipped them things. And then we had one free one. And then we bought a bunch of games.
Yeah, and we played
It was great.
all the time.
It was free.
It was awesome.
So my mom doesn't understand technology at all, but she always liked her Nintendo Wii. She liked whatever, right?
They're done mating.
Again. This
and
hamster.
hers broke.
Her Wii?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
boy.
she's been on the hunt for like months to try find one on
I'll sell
Facebook
her one.
Marketplace.
Superstore Lloyd.
She eventually found one.
Okay, so not only did my kids get an Xbox,
Yeah.
but we found them a PlayStation 3 because my PlayStation 3, my original one, broke. Kids didn't really care about it. But I had all the games and all the equipment. And in that equipment inventory, I had the full Rock Band set with 2 guitars. If you look online right now, that stuff is expensive. You can't really find it. Yeah, it's hard to get because like people want it. They've never made another one. Like they made Guitar Hero 1, I think Guitar Hero 2, Rock Band 1, and Rock Band 2 or something like that.
I remember when you were in that phase.
Yeah.
All
and
you want to do is talk about Rock Band.
We went to a friend's house like 3 months ago and my kids played Rock Band for the first time ever and they were hooked. They did not want to leave. They just wanted to play Rock Band.
Just like you when you're in your Rock Band
I
phase.
got all this stuff. Like I've got all the equipment. I just need a PlayStation 3. So we found one.
Should have said something. My mom just sold my old PlayStation 3,
Of course she
I would have also sold you mine.
Do you have any guitars? Because one of our guitars is on the fritz. I would buy guitars right now. If you had them.
Someone listening to this podcast will have them for you.
Send me a DM and tell me where the guitar is and I'll come and pay for it.
We used to do in our family on Christmas Eve. We used to get buckled and play Rock Band all the time.
The best.
It's the
It's
greatest.
the greatest.
I also used to have DJ Hero. That was a lot of fun, too.
So do I. So the kids were playing DJ. The songs are legitimately good.
Yeah,
like
bang.
really, really good. Their mixes, they're all like mashups.
It was good stuff.
You know what we do? We get 6 mama hamsters. We put them in a circle.
Oh my God.
And then the one that shoots the baby the furthest
Okay.
wins.
You were going somewhere else with that.
Oh, I just thought you were doing the endless loop.
Oh.
Endless loop of
No.
the Bauer mini stick and the Mama Hamster aren't that far apart.
Well, pretty
There's a mystery inside of something else.
Yep. I guess that's one way to look at it. Yep. That is one way to look at it.
All right. On that note,
Now I'm upset I didn't get a hamster pregnant mama toy.
we're going to step aside for a quick break.
Bullshit.
I got to reload the hamster.
10 hours until it comes out again.
It had its kids. I got to shove those things back in or I can't play with the mama hamster.
I don't want to talk about this too much.
I like the way she glows.
But I need to get,
Go
you
get my
guys
rubber
off
gloves.
of this. You guys, we have kids that I used to coach, parents that I know, kids of friends of mine that come up to me and say, "Oh, I love your pod." We cannot be doing this.
What do you mean?
What? My God.
we
This is
could
like
be
the
doing-
least
I know.
inappropriate.
I
You're
just-
the one who
hey,
started this story.
I know.
I wouldn't have known about these hamsters.
I'm very, yeah, you're right. Nah, forget it. They'll learn one day.
All right, before we keep going along, got to give some love to our friends at DoorDash. Dash that for the win in 2024. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code NATION25. Maybe you're looking to cook less. Maybe you're looking to try more local restaurants. DoorDash can help you out in the new year. That promo code NATION25.
It was the 6 hamsters in a circle that got me.
I was realizing if you wanted to like have them race by how far they shoot a baby, they can't be in a circle. They have to be in a line.
Yeah, that would be in a line.
We haven't done a podcast in like 6 weeks. I'm rusty.
I do like the circle though, because then you get the endless loop, and then your 10-hour wait time really only becomes like 2 hours because you just got a series of hamster births.
I want the births to
Who
be
can
every
afford
4.
that many kids?
Well, yeah,
Cost of living's gone up, man.
subscribe to our OnlyFans.
Jeez. Okay. So listen, I just do want to say one thing because this is a Nation real life event that has ended. We have a Nation real life fantasy football league champion.
Hey.
This year, it came down to a previous champion, 2021. Travis won it. Hot Chub Time Machine. And this year he was going up against Irish Butker, also known as the Bearded Brad. That was 1 and 2 too. They finished the season 1 and 2. Pretty impressive. And in a big time victory the Bearded Brad took the championship. So congratulations, Bearded Brad.
Brad Stepanko won the fantasy
Brad
football.
Stepanko won
Brad.
the fantasy football
Proud of you.
league. Yeah, real proud of you.
We have a prize for you, Brad. It's Mama Hamster,
Yeah.
slightly used.
You only get one baby though.
Yeah, the other one is MIA, but congratulations, you won.
That one's for keepsies. Keeping that for myself.
If the other one shows up, we'll mail it to you. I would not hold out a lot of hope.
When I go quiet, it's just because I can't decide if I'm allowed to say the things I want to say.
Chances are you're not.
Probably not.
I edit.
It really
90%
puts
of
me
the
in a
podcast.
pickle. Really
It
puts
angers
me in
me.
a mind blender sometimes.
The one time I listened to a show, I won't say which one because I don't remember. It was to hear something, which I no longer remember what I was waiting for. You'd cut it out.
Oh, I know.
I have to consult legal after every episode.
Oh, I know which one it was.
You're on one Swedish stock exchange and suddenly you can't say your topics.
Yeah.
So I did get an Apple Watch BM.
Yeah.
It was my sister calls this second Christmas, and it's January 1 when your benefits reset and you get like it's called health spending. You can just buy healthy stuff and your company pays for it. I don't have that, but Amber does with her work, and I get a cut. So I bought this Apple Watch and she just runs it through her thing, which is kind of neat, but I don't think I like it.
Why?
It's I can't get it. It's either too tight or too loose all the time.
Yeah. So you need to get a strap like mine where it's stretchy. I don't like those either.
Yeah, you're running on like you got a quarter inch between, and what if you need
That's all
a
you need
whole ring
sometimes.
That's
between them?
real. That's too small. You need a stretchy one like I got.
That's a great idea. Also, I need to set, I'm getting too many notifications.
Oh yeah. I turn everything off.
All I want's my text.
Do me a favor.
Can I do that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay.
Do you answer your phone with it?
Sometimes.
What are you, Dick Tracy?
Like when I say sometimes, I'm going to say 1 out of 40 times my phone rings. If I'm outside or whatever,
Yeah.
I'll talk to it like I'm Dick Tracy.
I don't know why that bugs me, but it bugs me.
So I also set it to like, I was like, okay, like if this thing's going to help me get healthier, but it's like pinging me in the middle of the shows being like, stand up. You've been sitting for too long. It's like,
Don't tell me what to do, Ghost
But
of
like
Steve
one thing that
Jobs.
you and I could do now when we're in Jasper is we could set up walkie-talkie mode and we could literally Dick Tracy to each other all the time. Nobody else
now
would be
we're
allowed
cooking.
to play.
Do you have one, Charles?
I don't have one. No.
No.
So you won't be allowed to play with me and Tyler doing Dick Tracy.
No,
moves.
If your hamster mama's Bluetooth, you can like project your voice into mama while she's birthing. Hello.
That's a toy I'd buy.
Hello.
You know,
Outside of the note, like again, outside of the
notifications I
health
can help you with. All
So
that stuff.
thing, then maybe I like it.
You definitely need a new strap though. I don't like that strap.
It sucks.
I'm looking at it already. I don't like it.
I like the idea of being able to see that your phone's ringing if it's like over on the other side of the room and you're just not paying attention and your phone rings and you can look at it and you're like, oh, okay, that's somebody I need to go get your phone, right? So you never miss it. Yeah, that's the thing though.
One
You
great
can't
thing-
ever miss a call.
I know.
Or
One
people
great
are
thing-
like, okay, dude has an Apple Watch. It's literally on his wrist. If he doesn't answer my phone call, I know he's not answering it on purpose.
Exactly. And I can quickly ignore calls. Boom, gone. See ya.
But that's the thing is people know.
You
That's
can
fine.
always just say
Okay.
like, oh, sorry, I was in the bathroom.
I didn't want to. I wanted to give you the proper respect and not
I
talk
just-
to you
I
while I
straight up
was
ignored your
hanging in
call.
the boink. Yep.
I think you got to give precedent to people that you're around in real life. Like if you're in a meeting and a phone call happens, it can't interrupt the meeting you're in.
Do you ever drive down the street and you see somebody call and you immediately like you're just not in the mood or you don't want to talk or you just like
Almost exclusively.
and you wonder
Every
if
time
they
my phone
are around you and like are just maybe drive like if it's somebody that
No,
you
but
don't
now
know
I will.
like if it's somebody that you haven't talked to for a while and they're just calling you out of the blue and you're like, well, most of the time if I just see somebody randomly, I'll give them a call and be like, hey, there you are, how you doing?
Why would you do that to someone?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like an episode of
Just
The
'cause.
Office when Michael Scott calls Ryan in the parking lot and he ignores the call and he gets all offended by it because he saw him ignore the call.
Yes. So I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of times where I'm sitting in my truck and I'm driving down the street and phone rings and I have to do like a real mental, do you think this person's like sitting behind me at this red light right now and
Do you
they're
have a
going
physical
to watch
reaction though when
me?
the phone rings? Because sometimes I go, "Nyah!"
Yeah, no. Throw it out the window. No, I don't do that. Try to keep it tight. It's a real concern.
I think I can get you to like the Apple Watch.
Okay.
Mostly mine is for my calendar.
Oh, like pinging you when you have an event or like a meeting.
or meetings or whatever.
That's smart.
Yeah, I need it.
You want to hear a story about the Nation hot tub?
The Nation hot tub. Wow. Throwback.
I have a Nation hot tub.
Yep.
And it had been getting, well, I got sued twice because of it by my neighbor. Listeners of the podcast will remember that I'm undefeated on the street I live in. in lawsuits. Now, they sued me originally. They shouldn't say sue. Sue implies there was money. They took me to court because they said my hot tub was too loud. It was brand new at the time.
Yeah.
Impossible. I won. They appealed it. Like a death row inmate, they appealed it. And I won 2-0. But now my hot tub is actually getting really loud.
Ooh, it's on the fritz.
It's on the fritz. And I think it's because it's however many years old and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. Now you get what you paid for. These guys are going to live with the terror of a really loud hot tub. It got to the point where it was annoying me.
Oh, no.
I could hear it in my house. It kick on. And Jared Sharp was at my house. He's like, what is that, a generator? And I'm like, why would I have a generator in my own house, you weirdo? It's a fucked up nation tub out in the backyard. So anyways, I said, you know, Wanye, it's 2024. You're a good boy. You try hard on your computers. Well, I'm going to get you a new valve or whatever the fuck is wrong with the hot tub. So I called them up and they came out and the guy goes, wow, you're the nation hot tub. Yeah. You're the nation guy. Yeah. So me and him were kicking it. And he's looking at my hot tub. He's like, how many people go in this thing? I'm like, just me, man. Like, I'm the only one ever goes in. He's like, huh. When's the last time you changed the filter on it?
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you.
Well, Chalmers, I didn't know it had a filter. What the fuck?
We're talking about a guy who recently probably learned he needs to change the oil in a car.
I knew I would top the oil up in the car. But again, neither here nor there. So he looks at me and goes, have you ever changed the filter? And I go, there's a filter? When I tell you that the grossest hot tub filter,
Like black?
it's only my jerk.
You just had Wanye butter growing in there for years.
Dude. And like, he's trying to be nice because he's like, oh, nation guy, we're having a good time. And he pulls out, he's just like, ah, ha, ha, ha. And he like put it in this bag for like,
I just got to go grab this suit. And he comes back with a white straight up suit with a hood on it.
so he goes, well, you know, like your hot tub should be like, it actually looks really good considering the status of your filter. And I go, yeah, because I put those tablets in. He looks at the floating thing. He goes, you put that many tablets in? I'm like, yeah. And then I'll just like let it run for a while. He's like, you're putting in way too much chlorine. I'm like, oh. He's like, but I guess it would counteract the fact that your filter's fucked up. I'm like, so two wrongs make a right? He goes, I guess they would. You should be changing that filter every 4 months. I'm doing the math. I've had the hot tub for 5 years.
And how many months ago was this?
What this all happened?
Yeah.
This happened yesterday.
Oh, this is just yesterday.
This happened yesterday.
So did you set a timer on your phone for 4 months?
No. But when I got up this morning and
he's
had a
just
hot
gonna come
tub,
back?
I couldn't believe how clean the water was. I didn't even
And
have
my
to put
skin didn't itch for the rest of the day.
75 pucks of chlorine later. So anyways,
How is your skin still on your body?
because I would only like puck up once every 4 months. And then when it was starting to look a little bit off, I would repuck.
God damn. That's kind of impressive.
It's kind of crazy that like
That filter though
you can
was
have a
fucked.
major appliance and just simply think it's just going to clean itself or something.
No, there's a little thing down at the bottom of the hot tub that I always clean out that like is a filter of some variety. But
Right.
there's also like a second filter that bobs up and down like a fishing lure.
Like the big one,
I had no idea.
like the normal one.
When he pulled that fucking thing out, it looked like an alien. It had a bait. I looked like hamster mama, but hot tub hamster mama had birthed. It wasn't even in the cylinder.
Did
it was
you
like
change your furnace filters at your house?
We've talked about this.
Okay.
I don't believe in that religion.
Oh boy.
Well, you don't change your furnace filter.
No, my furnace filters are like metal mesh and I have to hose them down. And I do that.
Okay.
Because of Chalmers, I have a reminder in my phone to change the furnace filters.
Because of Chalmers, I'm terrified of my garden hose.
Yeah,
that-
the
I'm
hose
like,
bib.
is that bitch going to leak? Even though I think I
Yeah, the
unplugged
hose
it.
bibs.
Oh, Chalmers.
Check it twice.
I went
Make
over
sure
to my
it's off.
buddy's house for New Year's and he had just had his hose plugged in. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, well, sometimes I got to spray like dog piss off the concrete or whatever.
In the middle of the winter?
I was like, don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
Oh God. This guy was, it's a good thing he knows you.
If you really want to hose something down in the middle of winter, what you do is you go into the bathroom, you fill a garbage can full of hot water, and then you hose Tyler's vomit off the front steps.
That's exactly how you get rid of red wine.
Yes.
I can't be
Well-
expected to remember all of this shit that you need to know to be alive. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. So I either need someone to carry me around like Pinky the Brain on Lord Krang on Ninja Turtles. Remember he's like inside the robot and he's just a brain. If that could occur for somebody like me, that'd be fantastic.
Well, if
You and
Yeah.
I are very similar in that way. Sometimes like I'll call my old man and be like, Car broken. Car no go.
I can't call Wanye Senior for these sorts of things. He's not living it. He's in the metaverse. He can't be asked.
So he'll just be like, my old man who was an engineer by trade, he'll just go, "You are so useless." And I'll be like, "Yes."
Well, if we can pivot this into like a construction corner, then the one thing that right now, as it's going to start to get a little colder and it is winter, we've talked about humidifiers, but really seriously, please go check your humidifier pad. So inside the humidifier,
I have one.
there's a pad.
What? I don't have a humidifier, do I?
I really hope so.
My house was made in 1993. Do you think I have one?
Probably not.
I have
And
one
if
of
it does, if you do, it's not working right now.
Isn't there like a hose like to just shoot city water into it maybe automatically?
Yeah, just a open hose of nice mist, like a Vegas
I think
nightclub.
you're being facetious.
I'm not.
I run a
But
humidifier
yes,
most of the day.
Yeah.
Is this good or bad?
Is it a like self-standing humidifier?
Yeah, it's just like a standalone humidifier that I bought.
Yeah, I mean, it will have a sensor. It will start to understand. Like it will shut off when it's properly humidified. Will it not? Do you get lots of water on your windows?
No.
Then you're great.
Okay.
Do you have like a standalone little thermostat or humidistat that you can see what?
Yeah, you made
the
me
relative
buy. You
humidifiers?
made me buy. Basically, I have one for every room of my house.
You're
golden.
measuring the humidity in your house room
Chalmers
by
made me
room.
do it.
How am I supposed to find time to do these sorts of things? I'm very busy. What
I
with the
have
hamster
ice
mama?
forming on the inside of my walls.
Yeah.
You do?
Well, no, but they're very cold.
Yeah, your insulation. I mean, back in the day, those 2x4, they only used to use 2x4s on the exterior walls, which means you can get pretty much a maximum of R12 insulation. And we do like minimum R20 these days. And R12 back in the day, it's probably down to about R10, R8. I know we have a room in our house where I didn't change and you can literally feel
What should the humidity be at? Because I'm running around
35. 35.
35 and 40.
40, you're going to start to get some condensation.
Okay.
30, you're going to start to live in the
You flaky.
verge of turning your hardwood floors, your railings, your nose into very dry.
Oh, I was just thinking.
Units.
I have hardwood floors and railings at Wanye Manor, and I don't
They're
understand.
probably like kindling. They're probably spreading apart. I don't know. I should come over to your house one day.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Have a look. Anyways, I went to people's
No,
houses.
you'll make me feel vulnerable.
That I
the
built
hot
like
tub guy, and I didn't know there was a filter.
I built these houses like 6-7 years ago, and I'm just, these people are out of town, and the two of them. And so I just going over there to have a look, and one of them got an alert on their furnace that it wasn't working so great. And so I went and looked, and got to change this stuff, man. Got to change these pads out.
I need a service
Yeah, everybody probably
or a
does.
husband.
That's
I
what
consider
need.
myself straight, but I need a husband.
Yeah, I need like a dad that comes.
No, I don't want all the advice.
You just want someone to do it.
A husband,
Yeah.
a house husband,
Honeydew list.
honeydew list,
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Actually, a decent service that you could maybe do.
honeydew.
Like Uber, but for.
Well, there is like handyman services around.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want like preemptive shit. I want someone to show up and be like, it's furnace day, Wanye, and like, ha ha ha. And they go in and change the shit.
There is people that try to do that for you, but like, it's like they truly try to say in like a full on furnace clean, like once a year. But is there somebody who should be coming to your house to service your furnace like every 6 months? Yeah, absolutely.
I need
that would
more
be
than
a
just the
great
furnace, though.
service.
I need all the other things that people know how to do normally.
I just got my furnace clean, Chalmers.
It's nice.
You know, if you invite Chalmers over for a whiskey, he'll probably come do it.
No, he
Probably do
won't.
it. I would. I can't help but look at that stuff. What were you going to say?
So my outside walls of my house are frozen cold.
Yeah.
Like Amber made me a beer advent calendar and she kept it by our living room wall. And the beers are like, they were cold every time I opened one.
Yeah.
Is there a way for me to fix that without tearing the
Free
wall?
fridge.
Like, is there some sort of like spray insulation? I could just cut a little hole and like,
No, I mean, no,
I'm fucked,
you're just, you're getting into like a whole spray foam type of thing, but you've already got insulation and vapor barrier in there. So do you really know? And the wires, it's just, no, in order to do it, like you either need to, if you were to redo the exterior of the house, you could add like a rigid insulation, where you put on like 1.5 inch or 2 inch, mounts to around an R7, R10, maybe,
Couldn't
depending
you
on the
just build
panels.
a new wall inside the old wall?
A slightly smaller
Basically,
house
just you would be
inside the original house.
Yeah.
and then re-drywall it and retape it. You would be better to just tear off the middle, leave 2 feet from the top and 2 feet from the bottom. If it's an 8-foot wall, tear 4 feet off through the middle, peel back the vapor barrier, shove new insulation there, but really you're still shoving R12 in there. That's the thing. You can only get so
I'm
much
gonna live in
there.
the cold as long as I live in this.
Like reloading hamster mama.
My bed is like an ice bed.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You can't live in an ice bed.
Speaking of which, Chalmers, you mentioned new bed. I've got a new bed arriving at my house today.
Oh boy.
Updated to the king size. And I've convinced Mrs. we are trying the 2 duvet system.
I love it. I had 2 people over the Christmas holidays tell me they tried it in the last month because they heard about it here and it has changed their life.
You're changing lives,
They literally,
Chalmers.
I'm not even being, I swear to God,
believe you.
I was like, it's great, isn't it? They're like, Chris, man, like, I can't even tell you how great it is. Like,
I'm looking forward to
it
trying
is amazing.
Imagine getting a second wife now.
Mm-hmm.
And then
3 duvets.
Whoa.
I'm looking forward to doing a 2 duvet king size bed.
Or they're 2 duvets and a king and you
You
sleep
are
across the
going
hall.
to be so comfortable.
I feel it. Like I can subscribe to this.
When you wake up in the morning and the first time you realize you're like, I didn't wake up last night when the missus moved around.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, I don't believe it. And then it keeps happening. And a week later, you've realized you've slept through the night every single one of those nights due to the fact that somebody else isn't waking you up. You will have realized you're 50% on your sleep right now when you could be living your best life.
I will keep you updated. But this is going to be happening. Shea Bag Milk starting this week.
Can't wait. I cannot wait for you to do this.
Before we wrap up the pod today, got to give some love to Alberta Blue Cross. There's only one thing better than sharing memories, and that's making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance protects your memories and more. Wherever your travel takes you, visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information. Just like our trip to Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming up, Charles.
Yeah, I know. Looking forward to it.
You can't bail now.
No, I can't. I've already bought the tickets, buddy.
All right.
I've already,
Congratulations on the Cardinals winning that match, by the way.
the
other day.
Philadelphia Eagles one?
Unseen.
Oh,
Where'd
yeah.
that come from?
Feisty.
Wow.
It's a feisty team.
The minute I saw that, I said, ooh, Chalmers
Yeah, a
is
little late in
somewhere
the
happy.
season to make our tickets worth any more money, but whatever, we'll take it.
Win's a win.
Win's a win. But my kids now watch the Phoenix Coyote highlights in a different light, especially when they're at home, because they want to see what like Mullet Arena literally looks like. Because I try to explain it and they go like, it's tough because even I know what it is. And I'm having a tough time putting myself like in that small, quaint environment to watch a professional hockey game. And I
can't wait.
I cannot wait. I mean, it's going to be absolutely unbelievable.
Still spots available, nationgear.ca if you want to get in on what could be our last nation vacation of the hockey season. So get in on it. Let's go.
Can we do a segment I like to call lightning topics?
Yes.
The Winnipeg Jets allowing it to come out what that guy said, Cole Perfetti, allowing it to be said what that Ryan Johnson said, that I did that intentionally and not just leaving on the ice. Bush League, in my opinion.
About it.
Doesn't matter. Just say whatever, man. It's hockey.
It's not Bush League at all.
Hockey. It's hockey.
No.
Hockey's a tough game.
Sticking someone in the face is pretty
Hockey's a hard game. Watching that, unless Cole Perfetti told me that it was purposeful and that the guy basically said I'm doing this on purpose, I wouldn't have really thought that. I would have thought he was just a hard face-off.
cool, but it wasn't.
Did you see the guy jump over the judge's desk and attack a judge who denied him parole?
He should get half his sentence removed from being able to leap that shit in a single bound.
All the comments about how the Jets could sure use a new linebacker.
Man.
My God, that was insanity.
That dude that jumped to save the judge should be promoted to judge.
He gets a judgeship. Yeah.
He should be made a judge himself, because if you didn't see that before,
Wow.
The hops on this guy.
Quite the leap.
and that other guy diving in to try to save the judge, he deserves a judgery.
Wasn't expecting a female judge.
The look in her eyes as I stopped it to look at it,
Yep.
she was like, "This could be the end of this judge."
It's brutal, man. This guy, I don't know what his parole could have possibly been. Like, I don't know if he had to serve like another 6 months, but bye-bye life.
She denied him
You
parole
go.
and he jumped in. I bet you that it was a longer time than 6 months. He must have had nothing to lose. With nothing to
what a
lose.
wild scene.
Oh, yeah.
Wild. World Juniors.
Wow.
Oh, Chalmers, you're all over the road.
World Juniors. Brutal. I was watching that Canada game while I was watching my son in a hockey tournament. I had it on my phone. I watched 15 minutes of pure pressure from the Canadians on the Czechs. A minute left. I look at one of the dads on the team and I say, this just feels like one of those games where they couldn't get one past them. Czechs are going to come down on a break and take a shit shot and they're going to score.
That's exactly what happened.
30 seconds later, it happened. And the guy looked at me and almost made it seem like it was my fault. And I was like, I am literally sitting in an arena in Sherwood Park. I have nothing to do with that. I could just sense it. You can feel when shit like that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you've seen that before. What a disappointing outcome. And now maybe
I have not been less interested in the World Juniors than I was this year ever.
No Oilers.
Why? So I ask some people, I say, why? Why is Canada not performing at this? They proceed to tell me that like four of the top five world junior, or junior scoring leaders aren't even on the team.
Well, yeah, that like
Isn't there a bunch in the NHL?
Connor Babard.
I mean, I understand the ones in the NHL. That happens with everybody.
They didn't pick the team that well. It was big ice, and they picked a small ice team that's going to like bruise you and grind you down. It was dumb. It wasn't surprising that they lost out this early. Also, I don't know, when it's not in Canada, not in North America, and you're not like getting together with people on a Saturday night to watch it, and it's like, oh, it's 7 a.m., but I like wake up and watch Canada.
I found that. Another takeaway, Germany, Switzerland, feisty. Feisty teams. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie to you. I got to reignite my love of the World Juniors because of all the you-know-whats. That's what put me off them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
I don't like the bad news stream, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Intuitively, I'm like, ugh, I ain't watching that
And there was not one Oilers prospect.
Exactly. I'm only here to cheer for Oil.
At least normally I can subscribe to be like, oh, so-and-so's playing for Sweden.
Yeah, I really didn't sell the team that well. I knew like going into the actual games that I was watching, I knew Macklin, Celebrini, and that's pretty much it.
I got to reignite my love for junior hockey. It's such good hockey. It's hard. Like, I don't know, man. The Oil Kings, like, I guess I love them.
I'm doing an Oil Kings game in a minute.
Go Crusaders.
Go Liam.
Go Liam.
That's my horse in the race.
He looks like that guy from the Liam Pods Instagram account.
I'm going to do an impromptu keeping it 100 right now.
Holy, on the fly?
This is based upon, it came to me when we were talking about your Apple Watches and that you would talk on the phone. And I thought of things that annoyed me.
1 out of 50 times.
I am finding something that annoys me and I want somebody to either explain to me why it annoys me, that I'm right or that I'm wrong. Okay. Everybody calling the outdoor rink the ODR drives me crazy.
Good.
What? Because
finally,
someone said it.
Thank God.
Why is it that we always used to say outdoor rink and then the kids shortened it to ODR, just like they say sty and just like for style and just like they say Riz for charisma. Now, if
Riz is short for charisma?
Yeah.
That is news to me.
If you Riz someone up or
if
that kid's got Riz, that means he's got charisma, right?
I know what Riz is.
No,
God in heaven. I got more notches than you got missing teeth.
Okay, well then I don't know what you're saying then because you just said the two different things. So listen,
100 million.
Riz, sty, these kids like, oh, what a sty tape job. If we
as a thing on your eye,
I won't even
to an
tell you how
adult
you
it
get
should
'em.
be. If we as adults walked into an arena and we talked to other hockey adults and we said, hey, your kid's got a sty tape job, man, you should have seen him at the ODR. He was really risen up some.
And if you heard your grandpa say, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, you'd be like, that's dumb as shit, grandpa.
That's the point of keeping it 100. It's so stupid. But listen,
It's not your slang is what you're saying.
that I just think that we as adults are overusing what I believe to be a young person's term in calling it the ODR.
That's fair.
We say, I've always called it the rink, outdoor rink. It just, you know what you mean. And so when you go out of your way to say ODR, which isn't any easier than just saying rink,
It's more syllables.
it makes me feel like you're trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Am I wrong or am I right? Or why is this bothering me?
I'm going to call it the
honestly, I
ODR.
don't know.
I hate it. I don't know what it is.
What was you had an abbreviation of something pre-Christmas that was driving me nuts that you were saying on ONR, but I don't remember what it is now.
ONR?
Yeah, I might even know ONR. No, I don't remember, but we definitely had this argument about something.
I don't remember what it was, but Tyler was just like, no, stop that. You're getting too old. You're
I don't
in the
like
back of the
abbreviations.
line.
Was I calling a power play a peeper? No.
Abbreviations piss me off, especially like industry specific ones. When people try to drop like a KPI on you or some shit, I'm like,
Oh, I love a KPI.
we can say
B-way.
full.
Yeah, B-way.
It's calling breakaways B-ways.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that is too much. B-ways?
All right. Sorry, I forgot I'm doing a pod with a bunch of fucking grandpas.
Oh, look at this guy. He's on a B-way. Let's see what style he uses to riz the goalie.
But soon Tyler's going to age out and he hasn't realized it yet.
I'm getting there too.
Soul wise,
Listen,
you're way older than I am.
I love that the kids have their own vernacular. I really, really, truly do. I think it's hilarious. When I listen to them play video games and they talk to their friends, I think it's fantastic. I love it. I don't ever say that they're goofs for doing it. Like, I do love it.
Just call them out on a podcast.
There is something out. No. This is adults.
Okay.
This is adults, man.
All right.
Your kids don't listen to this, do they?
Mine? I don't know. No, probably not. They don't
Thank
even know how
God.
to. But like, I find myself really getting into, kids are super into Jordans right now. When I start talking to my kids' friends about Jordans, I annoy myself
Why?
because I'm trying too damn hard. In that moment, I go, in the sense of that,
You want them to know you know what's up, though.
yes. Yes.
But Jordans are also old school.
Jordans are old school. Jordans were from us. We didn't call it the ODR. That's new. You know what? I'm going to go.
Them Air Jordans.
I'm going to go
You
on the.
just call them
I'm
Air
going to go on the school of that. I am wrong on this one. I don't know why it is. This is something I'm going to have
No, I
to
don't
look
think you're wrong at
internally
all. You
and
wanna-
figure out.
Like the principal going to the high school dance and trying to do all the latest moves.
Yeah, that's kind of just what.
That ain't it, Playboy.
And a lot of people say ODR. Like a lot of adults.
Speaking of which, I just ordered a fresh pair of Nikes. I'm very excited. Not Jordans, Air Max 1s, but I'm very excited about them.
Ooh, what colors?
Black and red.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Okay, I'll chalk up an L on the ODR one, but I still won't say it. I'll just say outdoor rink.
Yeah,
Say
I get what
outdoor
you're
rink.
coming from.
Say what the rink's name is. You know,
But ODR is such a simple, like Riz and Sty is like dumb. Like I get that. Like adults shouldn't be talking like that. But
I like Riz.
ODR is like just an abbreviation. I don't know. It makes sense. Maybe it's because I grew up using it.
You know what
Probably.
abbreviation
You're
I
younger.
can't stand is Chell.
Oh, yeah.
We
see-
do not need to say
Okay, so there's a
Chell.
perfect example.
I like that.
My kids say Chell. We got to go play Chell. Let's go play Chell 24. If an adult came to me and said to me, "Hey, do you think your son would want to play Chell with mine?" I'd go, "What?
Shut up.
What
Hit
did what did you just say? In what way do you think that you're allowed to use Chell, kids vernacular,
Oh, it's like when guys call the NHL the National.
or the NBA is the association?"
That's cool though. I say that sometimes.
That one's cool.
Yeah.
You like that one?
So like that's cool.
It's a big full word. It's not abbreviation.
or like when baseball players call MLB
the majors.
That's
like-
cool.
But hockey guys trying to be like, oh, the National. It sounds
No.
like you're trying way too hard to be like the other leagues.
That's whack.
I've been always calling it
If
the
you
league.
notice, football commentators always call it the National Football League.
Yes.
Never
They're contractually obligated.
Are they?
I would assume.
I didn't know that.
What about calling the NHL the show?
I like calling it the show.
That's
The
cool.
show's okay. Baseball, they go with the show too. I like that. But like with the National, shut up.
Yeah, the National's not cool.
Not cool.
Chalmers, let me
That's
wrap
a
up.
news show.
Let me wrap up by saying this because I know you got a look on your face like you want to end this
I'm
shit.
getting antsy.
Number one, my floors are kindling.
Yep.
I'm living in a death trap.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, my railings are also kindling.
Most likely.
Stop
The only
smoking
water
cigarettes.
is frozen inside the wall because of the hose bib, which I assume will cave inward into the house.
Sooner or later.
Happy 2024, people.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to
setting up-
everybody on Monday.
Good luck finding a baby guinea pig toy because I'm buying them all.